It was the year 202 BC. Dust choked the air of North Africa as two massive armies prepared for a clash that would decide the fate of the ancient world. On one side stood the powerful legions of Rome, disciplined, organized, and fueled by vengeance. On the other stood the son of Carthage, Hannibal Barca, a man whose name struck terror into Roman hearts for nearly 2 decades. But now he was home, and this would be his final battle. Hannibal had once marched elephants across the Alps. He had outwitted Roman generals, crushed armies 3 times the size of his, and brought Rome to the edge of destruction at Cannae. For 16 years, he had roamed Italy like a ghost, unbeaten, unstoppable. But now, Rome had struck back. Scipio Africanus, a young, brilliant Roman general, had taken the war to Carthage itself. To protect their city, the Carthaginians called back their hero from exile. And so, 2 titans would meet on the plains of Zama. The sun rose over the battlefield. Hannibal lined up his forces, 20,000 infantry, 4,000 cavalry, and 80 war elephants. He was older now, but still cunning. He placed his elephants at the front to break Roman lines. Behind them stood his mixed forces, mercenaries, Carthaginians, and veterans from Italy. Across the plain stood Scipio with his Roman legions and African allies, the very Numidian horsemen who once fought for Hannibal. They had now turned against him. Horns sounded. The earth trembled. Hannibal unleashed his elephants, thundering forward like living tanks. But Scipio was ready. His men opened narrow lanes between their ranks, letting the beasts charge through harmlessly. The Roman cavalry then struck the flanks. Hannibal's elephants panicked. Some turned back, trampling his own lines. Wave after wave of infantry followed. Hannibal sent in his mercenaries first, Gauls, Iberians, and Ligurians. They fought fiercely but lacked unity. The Romans held strong. Next came Hannibal's Carthaginian citizens. Hand-to-hand combat exploded across the field. Blood soaked the sand. Spears shattered. Swords clashed. But Scipio did not commit all his men. He waited. Then Hannibal's final wave advanced, his Italian veterans, warriors who had bled with him for years. They met Rome's finest in a brutal, grinding clash. It was then that betrayal struck. The Numidian cavalry returned from behind the Roman lines and charged into Hannibal's rear. They were led by Massinissa, once Hannibal's ally, now Rome's sword. Trapped between Scipio's legions and Massinissa's cavalry, Hannibal's army began to collapse. Still he fought, sword in hand. The old general led a desperate defense. Dust and screams filled the air. He watched comrades fall. Some had followed him since his youth, but he would not surrender. At last, it ended. The field was littered with the dead. Carthage had lost. The dream of empire was gone. Scipio had won. Rome would rise. But even in defeat, Hannibal became legend. He had defied the greatest empire of his age. He had brought war to their doorstep and nearly toppled them. He was not just a general. He was a force of nature. Rome never forgot his name. And so, on the dusty plains of Zama, Africa gave the world one of its greatest military minds. Not with gold or empire, but with genius, bravery, and defiance. This is Chronicles of Conquest, and the legacy of Hannibal still echoes in the halls of history.